Hello, everyone. Welcome back. All right. So we're going to continue on and um, finish up cutting out our pattern for today. Just to refresh your memory, so we've been working on the Vogue V2000 Diane von Furstenberg wrap dress, and we will be doing view A of that dress. And so right now I'm in the process of uh, laying out my pattern pieces onto my fabric and um, cutting out the uh, fabric pieces. All right, so let's go ahead and get started for today. So first I am going to get my rotary tool here. Okay, and I've already gone around and marked each of my dots and pattern markings that we need to transfer after we cut everything out. All right, so I am going to first I'm going to shift my cutting board down a little bit here underneath to the end here. Just checking to make sure I am actually on the cutting board. It ends about right here. So once I reach around here, I will push it down to finish cutting out and try to keep the pieces together. All right, here we go. We'll start here at the top. Okay, I'm just gonna feel right here on the end. Just gonna make sure that's all the way out there. And then again, feeling towards the end here to make sure I'm on my cutting board. I was not on my cutting board. That's okay. We'll come back and fix that. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can cut down from this way. I thought that felt a little bit funny, but that's all right. We'll keep going here. Okay. All right. I'm gonna lay that to the side and just gonna slide my board down underneath here. Try to get it to slide down without having to move my fabric too much, but it may be time to invest in getting a larger cutting surface, but we shall see. We will use what we got for today. Okay, so I moved it down quite a bit, and I'm gonna recut this area here since I was off of the cutting board there, so it may not have gone all the way through. All right, so just gonna finish cutting here. To the end there. Trim that a little bit there. Okay. Go ahead and trim some of these little leftover bits here. Okay. And then let's see where we left off here. Just gonna continue cutting up towards okay. And then I'm just gonna slide down one more time to get the rest of that onto our surface. It's gonna slide the whole piece down. I think I need to slide down a little bit more. Okay. All right. And I'm gonna take the safety back off. And we're gonna pick back up where we left off cutting, somewhere around here, I think. Okay. And we're gonna take it across here. And we're gonna take it across here. And then we're gonna finish it off here. All right, so we got everything cut out there. I'm just gonna clean up these edges here so we can actually remove the cut piece from the main fabric here. Just kind of going through and lightly tapping these areas that are still got a couple of strands hanging on there. Just enough to release our fabric here. We do this side as well. It's looking good. Do a couple more here. See, these guys are wanting to hang on a little bit too well here on the end. This one might need to actually do a little cut here. Yep, that got it. And last little piece there. Last little piece there. And then we're just gonna put our safety on, and remove our scrap outline there. Still quite a bit of fabric left over, which is good in case you know we may need to recut anything. Still got a good little amount left here, so I'm just gonna put this to the side. All right, so just gonna reshift everything back over. All right, so now we have our belt piece cut out here. size 24. And next we're going to do our little cutouts for our triangles, and then use our carbon paper once again, our trusty carbon paper, to transfer the rest of our markings onto our fabric. And let me get my tracing wheel out here. All right, and my scissors. All right, so let's see where we got triangles. I think we just have them here on our end here. So I'm just gonna make a little snip here, snip there, snip there. I think that was it, just two. And then next we have our circles. We got a square and a couple more circles. So I'm actually gonna unpin these guys down here so I can get underneath there to mark those pieces. Gonna put our rotary tool to the side here, and it's gonna slide this down so you can actually see. Put it there. All right, so I think I should be able to get everything on this one sheet. If I can get it under here correctly, should be able to get all the markings on here, because I think it's just wide enough to get everybody marked here. All right, so gonna grab our tracing wheel, put an X here, put an X here. I'll do a star. That way it'll be a little bit of a differentiation between the small circle and a larger circle. And then here is my square. Haven't quite thought what to do for the square yet. And then we got another circle here. And one more here. Okay, let's check and see if it marked. Yes, we got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then let's not forget to do the opposite side of the fabric. Just gonna slide under the fabric there. Make sure my pieces are flat under there. Okay, looks pretty good, looks pretty flat. All right, so now we're gonna just do the same thing again. And this is gonna catch the other side of the pattern. Okay. All right, I think that is it. Let's flip our pattern here. Yes, we got everything marked. So we're gonna put our paper back to the side here and put our tracing wheel to the side and move our pattern piece to the side as well. I think I'm gonna stick a pin back in there just to hold it back down since we removed those other pins. All right, So we're just gonna take this, move it to the side, and get our last piece. Okay. Guess I will start with it this way. Just trying to make sure it's flat. Right, and so this is our skirt front, which we need 2 pieces of this as well. And let's see, just looking for transfer markings here. We got a couple of circles here, some triangles, circle, 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 circle. We got the waistline, another little circle, couple of triangles. So quite a bit to mark on this guy. So let me get my ink pen. Just gonna highlight or color in size 24, just so I can see where I am marking. There's a triangle, another circle here. I think that's everybody. Okay, great. All right, so let's get our rotary tool back out and get ready to cut again. All right, so this one, trying to see where we are with our cutting board. We're just gonna move it to the top for the moment here. And try to start with this one side. Okay, I think that's fairly straight there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our rotary and let's cut. Just gonna bring it all the way down. Nice steady cut. Hoping that I'm getting a little bit better at this with the rotary tool. Maybe, maybe not. All right, and I feel that I've reached the end there. So I'm going to try to slide my board down. Try to slide everything over. Keeping everything together here. Slide it down a little bit more. Okay, just double checking to make sure everything is not bunching up as best we can. Bunch up a little bit, but try to keep everything flat here, at least for the cut. All right, so let's continue with our cut here. Okay. Now let's cut along our, we'll cut along the bottom here next. So we're just gonna try to slide that up and over here. Okay. Just trying to make sure everything's still flat there. Should be enough to, so my cutting board stops about right here. So we'll start from down here. Okay. All right. And just make sure we got a good end cut here. Okay. All right, let's do we'll put our safety back on and let's do our next side. I think for this, I'm just gonna try to turn it here. Turn everything and try to move everything back to the center and try to catch, kind of slant our pattern here a little bit. Let's see if we are even on it here a little bit. Let's see here. We're still off. I'm just gonna tug this corner here. All right, try to put everything back flat again. Okay. All right, so we actually gotta finish our cut here and then we'll also continue on there. Safety off. And let's continue our cut from here. And start our cut from here. Okay. All right. Put our rotary tool to the side and let's slide our work down here. I'm gonna try to get our top part here perfect and the rest of our side here. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish this cut. Just gonna bring it all the way up. And we're gonna bring it over. Let's go ahead and pull it down a little bit so so we can catch that corner over there. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut. I try to be a little bit liberal with my cutting, not cutting too close to the pattern edge, just because I am still learning with the rotary tool. Not quite the best yet at it, and we don't want to get too close to the pattern in case we want to reuse it again. So I'm just going through again, just trimming the little strands that are holding our main piece in here. Okay, I'm just gonna push back on the table a little bit so at least you guys can see. Okay, almost got it free. All right, just gonna rotate this around. And last little piece here. Perfect. All right. Just gonna move our scraps out the way. All right, so let's take a look and see how we did. Looks pretty good. All right. So we will start with cutting our triangle markings first. Make sure that safety is on. Putting our rotary tool to the side there. And also grabbing our carbon paper again, along with our tracing wheel, and have that ready for when we get ready to transfer our markings. Okay, so let's cut those triangles. All right, so we got one here. And then we got two up at the top there. One and two. And I see two more on that side. Just gonna turn. Catch these two. One there. And one there. And I think that's it for our triangles there. Just gonna put our scissors to the side. And let's start with some markings. We will, how about we start, since we're on this side, we'll start with this side. So I have some circles here, another set here, and then we have some triangles down here at the bottom. And I'm going to adjust my camera angle just a little bit because I think I'm a little off the table here. Just want to make sure you guys can see everything. But the piece is kind of large, so it's definitely limiting us a little bit here. I'll just try to keep checking to make sure I'm at least partially in frame for whatever side I'm working on here. Okay, so we are gonna do our square and our circle here on the end. Just gonna catch it here. And one X here. Let's see if we got it. We did. And then don't forget to do the back side as well. And X there. Okay. We'll move on. Got our marking. Yes, I see it there. Almost missed it, but it is there. It's gonna just slide this a little bit here, and we're gonna catch. See if I can catch these two here. Remove and frame. Try to catch these two on the same go here. So let's turn our paper over. Let's try to slide underneath and get marked here. Okay. We got one circle there. And then a triangle here. Okay. Looks good. Looks good. And let's do the back side as well. Cannot forget to do the back side here. Okay. And do our little X for our circle. And then do our X for our triangle. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to differentiate if I need to once I start sewing. And we always do have the actual pattern still, so if we need to resort to that, we can, as a reference, can always look back at it. All right, so I'm just gonna turn the pattern here. So we can probably get this guy and maybe the waistline marking in one go around here. Starting to really use up that red paper. Gonna have to maybe switch over to the yellow next, I think. Yellow, or I think I may have a black piece in there. But we'll worry about that when we need to. So let's put our X here at size 24. And X here. And then I will also roll the waistline here. And I think I'm also gonna, I see the center front line here. So just gonna roll that a little bit. Not sure if that's important, but we'll just roll it a little bit since we're here. And just gonna scooch down and do this guy here on the end. Okay, so we got those guys, we got these guys, and yep. All right, so now let's do the back side of the fabric as well. Okay, we'll do our X size 24 right here. Another X here. Waistline. Center line. And we'll slide down to catch these guys here. Two guys on the end here. We got a bigger circle and a little circle here. Let's check. Okay, everything looks pretty good there. All right, let's move on to the next side. All right, so we got dots here and dots here on the very end out of the shot there. Let me see if we can make this happen. I'm just gonna bring that all the way up so I can maybe try to catch these guys down here. But we're definitely gonna have to do these one at a time here. So got an X here, X there. X there, X there. Okay. Sorry, my dog's getting a little restless. Just trying to get her to sit back down. Come on. Bed. Bed. Down. Very good. She listens to me sometimes when she wants. Most of the time, no. Okay, we're gonna make our X here. And do our other side. Okay. Just double checking. All right. And I mean, I think that's it for us. I think I may want to do, we did that one. Might want to do a little bit on this center front here. Maybe. No, I'm not going to do that. I think I'm just going to leave it as is. I think we're okay. Or maybe I'll just do a little bit on the end. I changed my mind. We're here, why not? So I'm just gonna roll it a little bit here. And roll it on the back side as well. Okay. And I believe that's it for all of our markings. And this is also our last piece that we have to cut out. So let's we'll pick up the instructions and see what we are gonna be looking at to do next. Let's see. I'll also move it on our bottom right here. And let's see if I can zoom in a little bit on the next set of instructions here. And maybe it's just big enough here. All right, perfect. And then I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit here. All right, so we're gonna start moving on to the bodice front and skirt front pieces will be the first pieces we'll work on next. It says trim 5/8 of an inch from the outer edge of the interfacing piece number 7. Apply interfacing to the wrong side of the bodice front piece 1. So we'll be working with piece number 7 and piece number 1. Applying the interfacing. So I'll need to get my iron out and my pressing cloth. And I think I can probably just iron straight on here. Maybe. And yeah, I'll probably maybe move the cutting board and just iron straight on the table and see how that goes. Maybe put a towel down. And then next, it looks like we have to stitch darts on the bodice front pieces and then press those down. So that means I'll have to pin the darts and then move over to the machine to sew those darts up, and that'll be what we do next. This will be my first time trying to film towards the sewing machine, so let me take a minute to get the proper angle that's helpful and entertaining for everybody, and then we'll just see how it turns out. So I'm going to stop the stream and cut the video here while I get set up for our next segment of the so long, and I will be back soon. So thanks everybody, and I'll see you in a minute.